Hello, welcome to class. I'm your instructor, Janessa Jacobs. I'm probably all washed out by the light and the fact that I don't have any makeup on. I just got out of the shower and I very quickly have to rush to pick up my son. I wanted to make this intro video for you really quick and get it posting up to YouTube though, so we're just going to go with it. So hopefully you read this welcome to class announcement, and that is how you found your introduction to class video. If not, I don't know what to tell you, but as you can see here, you have to read everything that I write for you every day. So every day you're going to know what to do in class because there's a daily announcement that will link you to your lab and lecture videos for the day. So I'll just point out, like today, your introduction to class video is here. Now right here on my screen, I don't have anything yet because I'm recording it, but other important information that you need for the day, documents will be linked in the daily announcement. Your lecture video for the day is here. You've got lab videos that will also be posted in your announcements. So truly, the daily announcement is one of the most important things you'll have in this class. It's really my point of contact with you every day to make sure that you know what you need to do. Let's just quickly go through all of these different tabs here and see what you can find. So under content, you'll see that we have all of our material organized into these modules. I'm going with my 202 class as the model for this video. This video is going to be used in both my 201 and 202 classes. The reason that I'm using the 202 class is because their digital textbook is properly working at the moment. My 201 class is not yet, but we'll get that fixed by the end of today. I don't know why they didn't link my book up, but they will link it up soon. So what everybody's going to do to get access to your digital textbook is follow these instructions in this MyLab and Mastering document and use this link for course materials. This will access your book and the websites that we're going to be using in this class. So anytime you see me say Mastering AMP or MyLab in anything, it's these sites that I'm talking about. So you will follow the instructions on that document and launch your courseware, and it will allow you to access our class. So you'll have this thing, you will have something that says Open MyLab and Mastering. This is my instructor version, so it's going to be slightly different than yours. Of course, an error has occurred. Let's see. Let's try this again. So, alright, I'm trying this through a different browser, and if the error persists, then I guess I'm having problems with both 201 and 202, and we'll get it fixed on the first day of class. Today's a holiday, so nobody at the publishing company is answering my emails. Oh, this looks more promising. So what you'll do is you will launch your courseware after it's uploaded, and then you will be able to access this MyLab and Mastering AMP. All of your assignments are going to be through Mastering AMP, and all of the materials that you'll need to study lab are through MyLab. So yes, this is working better using a different browser, so always try that, and always know that if there are errors, then I will work with you to get those figured out. So I wanted to be able to show you this from the student view because I think our things are in opposite directions, but that's not quite working. So let me just show you what you're going to do. So your assignments will all be listed here, and their due dates will be posted here. So on your class schedule, there will be one due date. I'm going to show you this class schedule really quick. Your class schedule is found under the Contents tab. I'll show you that in a minute, but what it has is your dates, what you're doing in class, the lab will be doing, anything that's due, and your assignment. So what you can see here, and this is going to change from 201 to 202, the material will, but the format is the same, which is why I'm only recording one intro video. So you'll see right here, this says Chapter 3 due 6/2. Well, this is a soft due date. You can see I've put down here an asterisk. You should complete your labs and assignments on the date listed in the schedule, but all work, with the exception of what's due in the last week of class, will be due on Sunday by 11:59 p.m. Because of this, no late work is accepted. So just be aware of that. I do not accept late work, but you have time. So for my 201 class, you'll be doing chapter 3 right away, and you should get your homework done right away, but you have until Sunday to do it. So that due date will be here, and you'll be able to see what you have to do. As far as other things that you should be able to access, let me actually just see if I can do the student view. Oh, no, it's going to do the same thing. So other things that you can access is using your study area. You will, manage student view here. All right, hang on a minute. So this study area has a lot of really good information for you. I believe that somebody told me last semester that everything that you guys see is on the right side or something, but either way, you have lots of stuff that's really good for you. So a lot of people have test anxiety. The only way to get better at taking tests is to practice taking tests. So you can use these practice tests here to do that. As far as lab goes, you'll have lab guides posted in your assignments that are telling you what to do, and you're going to use these study areas. We have two. We've got a lab manual here, or this practice anatomy lab. I like the practice anatomy lab for studying. So when I say, like in the assignment, use MyLab and Mastering A&P with the lab guide to study histology, this is what I'm talking about. So you'll launch your practice anatomy lab, and here, let's say we're talking about our first semester class, then you're going to be studying tissues. To start will be like your first really important lab. So you can do histology and look at epithelial tissues, connective tissues, etc. For the second semester class, the first thing you'll be looking at is the endocrine system. So when you have to look at histology, you can find that here. For all of your systems, you're going to need to use models. So all of your models will be found here under the anatomical models portion of Practice Anatomy Lab. You'll also have lab videos posted, but in order for you to actually be working in lab, this is the site you're going to use. You can also see for your fetal pig dissection that you have all of these things available to help you with your fetal pig. So your Practice Anatomy Lab is going to be your best friend as far as lab goes. So let's come back here to our class, and we're in our course materials. This is how we accessed our book. Again, all of your assignments are going to be found on Mastering A&P, and all of your labs are going to happen through that MyLab part. Now, if we look in our content module here, other than having that digital textbook, we've got some general information that's important for you. You'll have a copy of your syllabus, which is our contract. I'm going to go over the syllabus quickly, the really important stuff, but you should definitely look over your syllabus. And then your schedules here as well. So let's just pop over here. Now I'm using the 202 course to show you how this works, but I'm using the 201 documents. They are, all you have to do is look at the details for your course. So this is an asynchronous online class, which means that you can do things kind of on your own schedule. I'm set up the week to be Monday through Thursday work week, as it would have been if we were in class together. So just be aware of that. This is my name, my contact information. You can email me through my Red Rocks email, or you can email me through the D2L internal messaging. But if you're emailing me through my Red Rocks email, do not email me from a personal account. You have to use your student account because of FERPA regulations. Otherwise, I just won't answer. As far as the required materials go, you need the 11th edition of this Myriad textbook, which you will be able to access through our digital textbook link very soon. So if you can't access it yet, we'll get it done by the end of the first day of class. For the first day of class, it's not super important that you have the access to that site because everything else you need to get started today is on D2L. Let me just quickly point out a couple things. You are going to have to pick up your lab kits from the Lakewood campus. So you're required to purchase some items. We're going to get you lend you your lab kits, and you're going to sign papers that you're going to bring them back. Your materials are going to be picked up on either June 9th or June 10th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., and this is for both classes. If you cannot make it to either one of those days, then you need to email our lab assistant, Ha, by June 9th to make other arrangements. If you don't pick up your lab kit, you won't be able to do lab and you're going to lose a whole lot of points. So just make sure of that. For our 201 class, you're going to get a skeleton. For the 202 class, you're going to get a torso. You have to return those models at the end of the course or you will be charged. Other things you need: a computer with reliable internet. For our quizzes and exams, you'll use the Respondus Lockdown browser. As far as this class goes, it is taught fully online in the asynchronous format. And so kind of all of your lecture and lab instruction will occur asynchronously, meaning on your own time. But it's not a self-paced course. So your due dates and deadlines are available in your course schedule, which you can find in your general information module. All of your course materials are due by midnight on the day listed in the schedule, or Sunday, depending on what it is. And I set up the schedule to mirror what we would have done in a normal semester, so that's how the class is going to go. It gives you Fridays and weekends to do everything else you need to do. You can get ahead on your reading or assignments, finish up your labs, all of that. So some important things to be aware of. There will be a daily class announcement posted in D2L. You have to read that announcement. This contains your links for lectures and lab videos, in addition to any important information like the 201 students. When your book is ready, I'll post an update there. This is a 24 class course requiring your daily participation and attendance, and then you have a cumulative final. It'll be in your best interest to get in the habit of being in class at the same time, Monday through Thursday, so that you don't fall behind. However, since it's technically, there's an asynchronous component, you can watch the lecture and lab videos whenever they fit your daily schedule. You have to complete the exams and lab practical exams on the date that's posted in the schedule. So let's have a look at this schedule and let me show you some things. So you're going to have, like your lab, it says that you should do this 6/1. So you should. It's technically not due until Sunday. Any firm deadlines are here in bold. So your syllabus quiz is due June 2nd. And you'll find that in the quizzes tab on D2L. So we'll talk about that in a minute. Your Chapter 3 assignment or your Chapter 16 assignment, it'll have a due date posted for the day after you finish the material. But it will actually be due on Sunday. Again, because of that, I'm not accepting any late work. You can see here, for the 201 class, you have a review for your exam on June 9th or June 10th. There's a pop quiz that day. I'm not going to announce pop quizzes in class. I'm also not going to announce online quizzes in class. They're here in your schedule. So maybe you should take this schedule out and put it into your planner or your phone or whatever it is. D2L will tell you about the dates of our online quizzes, but pop quizzes are pop quizzes, so it won't tell you about those. So this means, like here, you've got a 48-hour window in which to complete this pop quiz. Your exam has to be taken on the day that's listed in the schedule. So there's not really a whole lot of leeway with there. Why? Because you have 24 hours in a day, and you can use any of those 24 hours to take your exam. Again, this is not a self-paced class, so it just can't be. There's too much information and not a whole lot of time. So anything in bold on your schedule is something that has to be completed on that date. So there's not a whole lot of flexibility as far as that goes. Pop quizzes are pop quizzes, and they're not announced. They're administered through the quiz tab in D2L. They're available from midnight until 11:59 on the due date. Anything else has to be completed by midnight on the date it's due. You should complete lab activities and assignments the day they're posted in the class schedule, just so that you don't get behind and feel overwhelmed. But all labs and assignments are due for the week by 11:59 on Sunday. So get in the habit of completing them every day so you don't have a lot of work to do on the weekend. You'll be required to submit evidence of your completion of lab to the assignments tab in D2L. I'll show you that in a little bit. Your assignments, your chapter assignments, are submitted through the Mastering A&P website, and I will have to just automatically update the gradebook with that as we move throughout the semester. You have to complete your online quizzes and pop quizzes by the date due on the schedule. That's true for your exams as well. You must participate in weekly discussions for 201 or topic discussions for 202 as evidence of your participation in class. You should use this space to interact with your peers. Your responses are due, your discussions are due by 11:59 on Sunday as well. There's not technically a discussion component to your grade, but if you want any extra points at the end of the semester, participate in those discussions because they will tally up to be a total of 30 bonus points on top of your score at the end of the semester. As far as the course description goes, I'll let you read that. If you're in 201, you were supposed to pass Bio 111, and if you're in 202, you were supposed to pass Bio 201. As far as the competencies go, you can read that over as well. Important dates: the census date, your last date to drop with a refund is June 8th. The last date to drop with a W on your transcript is July 13th. You can read all of the rest of this, like nitty-gritty details. Lecture: you're expected to come to lecture prepared every day. You're expected to participate in lab every day. As far as your exams go, they're going to cover lecture and lab material, and they will only be administered on the dates provided in the course schedule during the 24-hour period listed for the schedule. If you have a documented illness or emergency, you can make up one exam, but you have to provide me documentation. If you have extenuating circumstances that prevent you from attending class on an exam day, you have to contact me as soon as possible and provide me with your documentation. If you cannot make up a missed exam, you'll get a 0 for that grade. You'll have 4 pop quizzes throughout the semester. They prepare you for the upcoming exam. They're worth 20 points and cannot be made up. There might be more than 20 points available, which will just act as replacement credit for any points that you miss in the quiz section. You have chapter assignments for every chapter that we're covering in the semester. They're found on the Mastering AMP website. The suggested due dates are available in the course schedule, and the Sunday due date will be listed on Mastering AMP. Again, if you need instructions for accessing Mastering AMP, we'll find that in the digital textbook module on D2L. Online quizzes. For both classes, there are 6 online quizzes throughout the semester. They will be available from the time we start the material until the due date, and one of those will be dropped. So the grade breakdown is a little bit different for each class, but you can see how it works. You have exams, practicals, your cumulative final, pop quizzes, online quizzes, assignments, and lab assignments. At the end of the semester, when it comes to calculating your grade, I will be looking at the number of points you receive, not really percentages. You can use the percentage because people are comfortable with percentages, but I don't use percentages, I use points. Your topic schedule is also available in your syllabus. Really, this schedule is so important. So make sure you have a look at this and are aware of all of your due dates and are just staying on top of your material. Okay, let's come back to our class and see what else we need to see. So, if we come back to our content module, we see our general information module has our syllabus and our schedule. It's also got information about the lockdown browser requirement, which is just what you're going to use while you're taking quizzes and exams. It helps to maintain the integrity of the online testing environment by not allowing you to get out of the exam and go Googling answers or anything like that. In your exam modules, you'll have your PowerPoints for every day. So I would recommend printing this and taking notes on it. It corresponds to the material that you'll see in your lectures. There will be a general review, and then you've got some practice materials that are not graded. So that's pretty self-explanatory. You can look through each of those. The lab guide is available here. The nitty-gritty is here. This has all of the details about like grading policies and all of that, and how to contact me. So that's everything you can find in content. For discussions, in 202 we only do topic discussions. In 201 we do weekly discussions, but I want to show you that we have these other discussion forums. This first is called Students Helping Students Succeed, and this is where you can post things to help each other out. Like if you come across a great resource for learning all the muscles or for learning all the glands, then you can share that there. This Teacher Helping Students Succeed is where you should post your content-related questions every day, because I check this on a regular basis, and if you've got a question about the content, it's probably true that somebody else does as well. And by asking it here, I can answer it here, and then everybody can see the question and the answer. If you have questions about quizzes or grades or anything like that, those should come to me personally through email or through the internal messaging system. Your weekly discussion or your topic discussions will then follow underneath that. And since this is I hated discussions in online classes, so I don't want you to hate discussions. I want them to be great for you. So I don't have some, like, you have to write a page response and then respond to 2 of your peers, yada yada. We're not doing that. I just want to know, you can read in the post what I want to know. What do you think about it? What do you think about this topic? Right here in our assignments tab, this is actually where all of your lab materials are. So your first lab for both classes on lab safety. So you will click on this, and you know what? I can do student view here. You can click on the assignment and it will have a link to the lab that you need to do for the day, and all of the materials that you'll be working on. So lab 1, safety agreement. You need to look over these attachments before you go pick up your lab materials, and then you're going to answer my questions. So just every day, look at your assignments tab and see what we're doing for the lab for the day. So their second lab for our endocrine, for 202, is the endocrine system, and this links you to the lab guide, and then you're going to use that lab guide in MyLab to work on lab, and then you're going to answer these questions and submit that to this assignments tab, and that's your lab grade. For 201, our second lab is a review of the microscope and cell, so just have a look at that. It also has your lab guide and it has your instructions. Here in the quizzes tab, you can see that all you can see right now are all of your, is your syllabus quiz, which is due June 2nd, so take that right away, and all of your online quizzes. They should pop up in your calendar as well, so you should be aware that those are coming, but your pop quizzes aren't shown here, and your exams aren't shown here. I'm not quite sure what format I'm going to do the exams in this semester, so they're not here yet. They might be done through Pearson. We'll see. That's another reason that you need to be paying attention to those daily announcements every day. Your gradebook will be updated on a regular basis to show you how you're doing in the class, and that's probably what most people are most interested in, but hopefully you're actually also really interested in the content. So that's kind of the quick and dirty rundown of our class, and really there's not a whole lot else I need to tell you right now. So now that you've watched your intro video, everybody should be getting off of here and looking over your syllabus and schedule, making sure you're comfortable with that. Go ahead and post an introductions in the introductions discussion so that you can meet all your peers. Review all of the materials in the general information module, really particularly that schedule. There's also a study tips document which can help you try and figure out a good way to really make studying an active part of your life so that you can really succeed in this class. You'll see also there will be a link to the PowerPoint file for the day, a link to your lecture video for the day, and then a link to the lab that you're doing for the day. Now, from now on, I expect you to use your class schedule to tell you what lab you're doing and all of that. So your daily announcement for tomorrow will say something like, welcome to class, here's your lecture, your second day lecture, and so for 201 that will link you to the intro to anatomy and physiology. For 202 that will link you to the second part of endocrinology. So, and then you start getting into labs, so you'll have lab videos as well. There's a lab assistant who may or may not look a lot like me, who helps you kind of navigate your way through the lab guides. And so just make sure you're reading this announcement every day. You must read what I write to you every day. Let me say it again. You must read what I write to you every day. So the only way for you to know what I expect of you is to read these announcements. So as far as like questions go, don't hesitate to ask questions for clarity, but do hesitate to ask questions because you didn't read. So that's one of my biggest pet peeves, is that I have given you all of this information, and if you don't read it and you ask me a question about it, then I'm just going to link you back to the place that you need to read. Please, 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 please ask all your content-related questions in this Teacher Helping Students Succeed discussion board. I love questions, and I love answering questions, so I will do that here. As far as other things go, if you want to meet face-to-face, I love that. A lot of people do better learning while talking. I'm a talking learner, so just send me an email or send me a message and we'll schedule a Zoom meeting, and we can make sure that you can see my face and ask your questions in real life time. I'm here to help you succeed in this class. I love anatomy and physiology, and I want you to love anatomy and physiology as well. So welcome to class. We're going to have a great semester.